Good afternoon, my dear parents out there. Namali Dianegero is my name, and today I want to welcome you once again on our program, Parenting as a Sacred Purpose. So today we want to come to understand or to have a sharing on to discover how did this kind of parenting, where there is full of negativity, there is a lot of abuses, there is a lot of caning, where did it originate from? Is it true that it has always been there? Is it that it started in our traditions or it originated somewhere? Why I want us to discover this is most times they are lies that are packaged to look to be real, to look like it's reality, and yet actually in real sense it is not true. So most people say, no, even us, that's how we are raised. But guess what? Before the colonial rule, all this wasn't like that. It was more of communal learning. And it's no wonder that most old people used to tell us that, the problem why children today don't listen, it's because they are used to canes. So to them, actually, they realized the side effect already. But for our generation, we thought it was normal. So I want us to know that this from the beginning wasn't to be like this. In fact, this all came in existence after the colonial rule. The British brought it, but to them, they brought it as a strategy. A strategy is a plan. They laid it as a tool to block us from thinking out of the box. They intended to bring that because they wanted us to be their assistants, no asking anything. All you're told to do is what you do. So they wanted to create this fear in us, not to ever ask anything. Like, is it normal for us to be like this? Is it normal for things to be done like this? And if actually you remember those who did history and literature, you're going to realize that whoever thought somehow that it's not normal, people have a right, children have a right to do things in certain ways. Normal people have rights to ask, to find out, to make decisions. They would actually deal with you. And that would mean to torture you, to do every kind of inhumanity to you, so that you be an example to others who are watching. And this to them was actually intended to bring this social and generational obedience to do their work. That's why they actually even tuned teachers to feel they can be the parents and they can do this kind of caning and all those things to put people down, to oppress them. But when we look back, if we want to really know the truth, what does the Bible say about this? Because most people are even locked up in what they say. Is it spare the rod and spoil the child? But those who are shepherds and those who know how to keep animals, the rods are not meant to strike badly the what? The animals. That's not actually the purpose. The purpose is to guide them, is to protect them. And it meant you're protecting them from the predators. The rod is actually to guide them slowly by slowly. But they gave us that verse, and they did not allow us to understand what it meant. The rod actually is symbolic. It's not meant to harm the child. It's not meant to harm or abuse the little one, because they have actually little say. They are new in the world. There are so many things they don't understand. So they want to discover, they want to understand. So if you use a rod and you think you're using it to strike the child, actually you are abusing the child. And so when people keep on giving the reason for hurting, for parenting using that kind of system, they need to go back and read the Bible and understand what did it really mean. And what amuses me, when they talk about that rod, they don't go back to Psalms 23 to read about it. Because in Psalms 23, we get to understand really what Jesus is. Jesus is the true shepherd. What I love about this is that most times we were raised not to know the truth, since it was a tricky design that was meant to put us down, not to think, not to find ourselves, not to know ourselves. Psalms 23 actually opens your eyes. You realize that the rod actually is not meant to strike. In Psalms 23, we find our comfort, the shepherd. And the shepherd calms us down. But even when I look at how they are encouraging us to believe it, look at Jesus. Jesus was a teacher. Jesus was a parent. If we looked back at how Jesus really taught the disciples, he was the greatest teacher of all times. No one can tell us that there is anyone who was better than Jesus. But how did he teach? He did not condemn. He did not judge. He did not abuse. He did not even beat. But he took time to teach people to an extent that if they would not understand in the crowd, those who would approach him, the disciples, and tell him, we have not understood this, he would elaborate more. He would endeavor to explain to the details to make sure that they understand. But we never had where Jesus said, the whole Peter, you the big man, you don't understand that. No. We did not hear him rebuke Judas. We did not hear him making fun of the disciples. Actually, what he did, he created this environment that was so friendly, that was full of love, that you would feel you're in a safe area to learn. And if you see even how Jesus was really teaching, it was more of storytelling, more of parables, to create this reflection. So that you can reflect, you can think about something, you can try to understand what does it mean. And actually learning begins in that, when you start asking the why and how. So I want to encourage parents out there. Let's not be lied that the way things have been with parenting, that for real it was meant to be like that. In fact, I have realized that our great grandparents before, they used to encourage that kind of teaching, where they would sit down their children after giving them what to eat, making the whole environment friendly. You're calm, you're eager to understand, you're alert, you are attentive. The grandmother is there, the mother is there, you are around the fire. You see that? That whole setting actually prepares the mind, the brains to take in new information. But if you realize actually what we are encouraging, saying spare the rod and spoil the child, it's what we did to Jesus. Because we did not understand Jesus, Jesus was caned. Because Jesus was judged falsely, was abused, he was slapped. And I ask myself, if that's what is done to us, then I think we need to ask ourselves if really we are imitating Jesus. If Jesus just came, do you think Jesus would support that? I don't think so. So let us know that these are are designs of the evil. For those who brought it, they intended it to bring this obedience of not questioning anything. But in doing that, it created wounds in us. It brought homes to live in conflicts. It brought communities to have issues. So slowly by slowly, these things also impacted our parents negatively. So our parents, they were busy, yes. And then there was this thing of the gender and what that comes in. And so at the end of the day, they were affected also by those same lies. And equally, we have been affected by the same lies. And for how long are we going to encourage this kind of thing? Remember, the more this kind of parenting is supported, the more harm we are going to have in generations. Remember, the colonial rule, the British, intended to have this generational obedience where you don't believe in yourself, you only believe in what they say. But thanks be to God that we know now how to read. We can find the history behind, but we can also try to understand, are they treating their children equally the way they do? Do they tell the things they taught us to teach our children? Are they the same things that they were teaching their children? Check it out and find out. For I know there is where they tell us the truth will set us free. Instead of accepting everything that comes on the table, it is beautiful and it's good to try to find out, why should I do things this way? So I want us to know that these corporal different forms of abuses are not good. No wonder Saint Padre Pio said that bad words are worse off than a weapon. Why? A weapon could hurt your body and you heal and you forget that pain. But bad words, they hurt the heart, they destroy the minds, and they destroy the future of a child. So I encourage parents out there, let's get to know the originality of all these things and not just parent our children with a blindfold, and we are doing things, because at the end of the day, we actually hurt our own. We destroy these children with that kind of parenting. We steal their joy and their childhood stage, and we even kill them. When I say kill them, it's not actually just getting and shooting and they die there and then. Some children get lost with all their future and they live a life of just having conflict for the rest of their life. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Have a blessed day. God bless you.